What is up, people? It is me, Monster58, and welcome back to another video review. Today we are going to be taking a look at the SH Figuarts Full Power Frieza as he appeared in the final battle scene before he almost got killed by Goku when Goku first turned Super Saiyan at the end of the Frieza saga. And so taking a look at the box here, you can see some very nice product shots as Bandai usually does of Full Power Frieza. You got the SH Figuarts and then you got the Full Power Frieza text there. Toei Animation, Dragon Ball Z, got some more nice logos down here. I have no idea what this is. Tamashii Nations, Bandai. Got some more nice product shots here of Frieza. Got some more nice text here. Got the Full Power Frieza with the Japanese kanji right there. And then we do have your obligatory product shots. You can see some very nice stuff. Very cool accessories all around. And we'll get into that when we get into the review. But just like Hasbro kills it with the box, I also think that Bandai usually kills it with the box. And so without further ado, alrighty, folks, here we have the SH Figuarts Final Form Frieza as he appeared, Final Form Full Power Frieza as he appeared at the end of the Frieza saga in the final battle versus Super Saiyan Goku out of the box. And I gotta say, this guy looks really, really solid. Now, one thing you'll not notice is that this guy actually has a lot of turquoise shading around him. Because if you guys remember, if you guys watch the anime, when Frieza powers up and he uses his ki, Frieza's ki is like this turquoise-ish color. And you'll see a picture of it. I probably threw it on screen already, but he's got like this turquoise-ish key color in comparison to Goku's yellow. And so what they did here is, if we're going to zoom in and take a look at the details, you can see the little bit of shading there. You can see it at the base of his neck. You can see it a little bit throughout his arms as well, and then you can see it definitely in the thighs as well, and then even in the feet as well. You can see it in between his toes and stuff like that. But yeah, take a look at that head sculpt. That head sculpt is gorgeous. It looks really, really good. You got that veins, got a little bit of the scarring. I do wish that, just like Goku, I wish that there was more like scuffing. I wish there was like black scuffing and stuff like that. Not necessarily blood, but something like just show that they've been through hell and back, right? They've been fighting for a long time, and their battle has been pretty rough, right? You can see the nice purple, though this is actually significantly different from one of the more recent Frieza Final Form Frieza releases, but it does look really nice here. Again, the head sculpt looks great. The paint on it looks fantastic as well. The details, I think they actually got spot on. You can see some more nice detail here. You can see, again, that shading in the chest. The veins are really nice. Overall, looks really good. And you can see even with the tail. The tail is the cut-off tail, because obviously he ended up getting the tail cut off before the final battle. You can even see the shading there on the back. Some more nice molded detail across the board there. The veins in the arms also looks really, really good. And you can even see some of the shading there on the tail, like right there. You should be able to see it, I hope. Like right here. Looks really nice. Overall, when it comes to Frieza, I do think that the full power form looks really, really, really solid. And so, we are going to be doing some comparisons. So, we are going to actually, what I'm going to do is zoom out a bit, because Frieza's a bit short. So we're going to do this, move this a bit upwards. We are going to do a comparison. So, set Frieza off to the side there. And because I always use this guy's comparison, here he is with the Transformers Legacy United Deluxe Class Infernac Universe Magnius. The 6-inch scale, you can see, ends up working out obviously here. Frieza is a little bit shorter than Magnius here, but if you have a Deluxe Transformer, you'll kind of get an idea of how big Frieza is. But this is, in my opinion, how big he should be, especially in comparison to Goku and stuff. And speaking of Goku, we're actually going to show Goku, but before we show that, we're going to show something else. Here he is with the regular Final Form Frieza. As you can see, it's the difference in the purple is that the purple for his, like, I'm not exactly sure what you would call those body parts, but all the purple bits on him are all shiny, metallic on the Final Form release. On the full power version, they're not metallic. They're more this glossy finish, and they're a much more deeper purple. Oh, well, sorry, they're much more flat purple. The one on the regular Final Form is a lot more deeper and rich and has that metallic sheen to it. But the other thing, too, that you'll notice is the immense size difference. Now, I was talking to this with my buddies about this, who are also big Dragon Ball fans, and the one thing that just surprised me is how much bigger Frieza is. Now, I understand that that's the case, but it's one of those things that, to me, it's not until you get the size comparison in hand that you get to see the actual size difference, because obviously in the show, there's not two Friezas to compare, you know, Final Form Frieza to full power Final Form Frieza, unless you're counting Frost and Frieza in Super, but it's for like a couple seconds and you don't get to see them stand next to each other. And so when it comes to seeing like the actual size difference between how bigger Frieza got when he went full power versus when he was just in his regular Final Form, it's actually a pretty stark contrast. I mean, you can see there's a huge size difference. I mean, just look at the shoulders. The shoulders are one easy way to tell the massive size difference between full power as well as just the regular Final Form. So yeah, you can also see that Final Form Frieza is a fair bit shorter. Frieza does get a fair bit taller when he goes full power Final Form. So yeah, it's really nice to see the comparison between these two. So yeah, just wanted to show that off because I know that people would have been curious about that. And finally, folks, here he is with his arch nemesis, his rival, his bane of his existence, Goku himself in the Super Saiyan 3.0 body. And I gotta say, these two look fantastic together. The reason I bought two of these is because I have all my displays for all of my for all my figures for my, collection and stuff like that. Transformers to Godzilla to Dragon Ball. But I have a personal shelf in my room where I edit and, record and everything like that. And so I put, like, the most, like, sort of like iconic things, the things that mean, I guess, the most to me, right? And so these guys will be on that shelf because I want, it's it's arguably Goku's most iconic rival, if not his most iconic rival in the entire series. So to get these two together like this is really, really cool. And they scale fantastic together. Goku is obviously much taller than Frieza. Well, not much. You can argue yes and no. I think I'd consider it a much taller. But here, obviously, Frieza grows. Goku grows when he goes Super Saiyan, but it's not like, I don't know, it's not, in my opinion, it's not the same ratio that Final Form Frieza goes to full power Final Form from Goku to Super Saiyan. It's not 1-to-1 in terms of, like, the percentage increase in size. And so I think this ends up working out really well. Alrighty, folks, so I set up for the accessories, but I realized I have to do the articulation, so we're going to do that right here with the accessory set up in the background. But the articulation is pretty solid on this guy, despite him being pretty bulky. It's actually really solid in my opinion. So, taking a look at the head, you can do a full 360. Like so. You can look down. So you have a ball joint at the base of the neck and then a ball joint at the actual neck. So you can look down, you can look up pretty far, but it does look a bit funky because of the way that he's so muscly, right? So all of this is so muscly that it's weird how this looks when you actually do it. You can see like the innards and whatever. It looks fine, but it just looks weird in some certain positions. But you can look up pretty far, and like I said, you can do a full 360 and everything like that, and you can do the head wobble. So that's pretty nice, right? You can do a full 360 with the shoulders. You have a butterfly joint as well, although that's probably the most limiting factor, as the butterfly joint really isn't all that fantastic because his arms are so damn big. But you can do full 360. You have more than 90, it's about 90 at the elbow. You have bicep rotation, and then you have ball joints at the wrist as well. So his arms are a bit limited because he's so chunky. I'd say that's a little more than 90. It's not exactly 90, a little more than. So you also do have waist. You do have an ab crunch. You can go pretty far back. Actually, like, look at that. You can go pretty far back. You can go pretty far forward. You can also do, you have a ball joint here at the base of, like, his chest, I guess. And then you have a ball joint at the actual sort of crotch area. So you can get some really nice posing with that. And then legs can kick forward, they can kick back. You have more than 90 at the knee. And then you have a rotation right here as well. And then you also obviously have a ball joints here at the, well, they're actually not ball joints. I forget what these are called. Because they're kind of like pins, but they are, I don't know, they're kind of like ball joints, but not. They're like ball joints and swivels put together. I don't know how to describe these joints, but yeah, you get some pretty solid articulation out of this guy, and so, despite him being super chunky, there's a few limiting factors. Oh, also the tail. Tail's on the ball joint as well. You can go like that, you can do this, you can also technically do this and this. Despite him being a bigger and chunkier version of Frieza overall, the nice thing about this guy, and I'll tell you this in comparison to the regular Final Form, is this guy actually balances much better because he's more top heavy. The tail doesn't weigh him down as much, and because the other part of that is the fact that there is no major tail, right? Because most of it's cut off. So really, actually, when it comes to the posing and the balancing, actually better than the regular Final Form Frieza release. So. Alrighty, now it's time to get into the Accessories. When it comes to his accessories, he comes with a slew of them, and they're pretty damn cool. So let's take a look at the head sculpts first. So you have a really nice one here where it's just him really angry, as he usually is, charging up powers, how they kind of show it. You can see the extra veining throughout. It looks really solid. Looks really, really good. I think it looks fantastic. So cool stuff there. And then you also have one where it's kind of like he's got one eye that's smaller than the other, and you know he's scowling, he's angry, right? He's pissed off. So this looks really, really good. So very, very nice. Let's get a focus on that. There you go. That looks really good. And you can see pretty solid amount of detail there. And the paint the detail application looks great. The paint looks great. Overall looks really good. And then we have one more here with the yelling face. So the classic Dragon Ball screaming face. This looks really good, especially with his one eye bigger than the other. Classic Frieza look. The jaw, the teeth, the tongue look really, really good. Everything looks good for this, and I'm really, really happy with it. So you can use this for obviously a multitude of different poses. And to replace it, all you have to do... Now, this is probably a bit tough, but you have to hold the base of the neck because my joint's pretty tight. Yeah, see, you sometimes find yourself removing the base of the neck as well. But just gotta... Nah. Let's see if I can... It's hard to do it on camera. When I'm alone in my room just messing around with it, it's a lot easier. But there we go. Okay, so that, and then you have that ball joint right there, and then you can just take one of his heads, right? So we can take let's take the streaming one, and then you have a slot there, and then you just gotta wait for it to snap in there. Now you have that, and that you can see that looks really, really good. And you'll see in the pictures later. I'll take some awesome pictures, I think. I'll try to do my best to take some good pictures because I just got one of the like accessory sets in for Goku for like the key charging and stuff, so definitely going to see if I can use that to my advantage here. Next, we are going to look at his hands. When it comes to his hands, you do have these hands, so these are for holding the death saucers. So they're pretty much the same as the regular blast hands, but they just have the holes in them. So if we take a look at the blast hands, here are the blast hands. So you can see they're basically the same. They just have the holes in them versus not. So these look really good as well. Then you have more sort of like other blast hands, right? These can be used as fighting pose hands, or I use them, obviously most people use them as blast hands. They look good as well. They have the black nails on them too, is good. You also have some more fighting pose hands. These look really, really good as well. No holes in them, but they look really nice. And then finally, you also have actually a set of feet. You have a set of extra feet, which is cool for, you know, Frieza to grab Goku by the head, or for him when he's kicking. So really cool extra feet. And so to replace all of these, so for the hands, very simple. You can just remove them like so, and then I can just plug him in like that, and then bam, you have him with his death saucer hands, and it's simple for all the other ones as well. And then you also, for the feet, now the feet are a bit tougher, and I'll show you why. I don't exactly know what these joints are called. I'd love for you guys to tell me what these are called, but these are what the feet joints are. And then you can just take one of the feet, and then you can see that there's a hole in there. And then what I like to do is try to do your best. Yeah, and there you go. Then you just push that in, and there you have him with new feet. And you'll only really be able to pose these. I mean, he can probably stand with them, but you definitely want to use these in more flight poses rather than actually him standing on the ground. Because, yeah, they don't exactly work all that well when he's just standing on the ground. And as you remember from a few seconds ago, I was talking about death saucers. Well, where are those? Well, let me grab those here for you in a second. Just going to set him back there. Send back there for now, and then we'll take a look at the death saucer. So he comes with two of them. Looks really, really good. The nice sort of pink, magenta, one more pink transparent plastic. These look very, very accurate to how they looked in the show. They're a bit sharp here on the edges, which is cool. You can see the serrated edges there, and you can see the extra detail they added in, and then you just pin them in here. So if we take the hands, so here's one of the hands with the holes in them. You can just have that peg in there, and then just push, and bam, he'll do that. And you'll see that I'll definitely show this in the picture. So really cool stuff, and they are pretty well sized. Now the only issue I have with them is that the peg, as you can see, sometimes gets stuck in the hand, and the best thing to do is to just be very careful to remove it. What I like to do is to wiggle it out and try and pull, and there you go. And all you have to do is so let's not lose it. Just gotta push this back in. There we go. And we got it back in, and should go in just fine. Just be aware that that can happen, and don't try and force anything too crazily. But yeah, overall, these look really good as well. And so when it comes to his accessories, he's got a really nice spread, and that's really nice to see. The last one I have to show you that I forgot is the extra Goku face. You get one where Goku gets punched in the face, and you'll definitely see this in the pictures. I'm going to try and get a good pose of Frieza punching Goku in the face. But yeah, this looks really good. You can see, let's see if I can get a focus. Please focus. There we go. You can see the nice, like, mark there, the one eye closed. It looks really nice and gives your Goku more display options, so very cool overall. And like I said, when it comes to Frieza's accessories, I think he comes with a really nice set of them, and it doesn't feel like that there's any skimping out here when it comes to the amount of accessories that he gets. So overall, really solid stuff from the accessory side. Alrighty guys, for my final and concluding thoughts on the SH Figuarts Full Power Frieza as he appeared at the end of the Frieza saga in the final battle with Super Saiyan Goku. This guy is really, really good. I think he's a fantastic figure overall. I think he's a great Frieza release. And honestly, when it comes to the Frieza releases, I personally haven't gotten second or third for him, but I know a lot of people like them. To me, from what I understand, is all of the Frieza releases are absolute bangers for the most part. And so you can't really go wrong with any of them. And just personally, for me, I don't personally care to have all of Frieza's forms because that takes up a lot of shelf space. And although they're really cool at the same time, it's just one of those things where, like, I don't have enough room or don't care that much enough for second and third form to just display them. And so it's nice to have this one on my personal shelf to display alongside Super Saiyan Goku. And overall, this guy's really good. So let's get the good out of the way. The articulation is solid. Accessories really good. Details are also really solid. Most of the paint is also good, but I'll also knock off a little bit. I think he could have done with a little more paint, just like Goku did with, like, marking his body with some black marks, you know, to accentuate the fact that they've been fighting for a long time. I also think that there's some way they can probably design the feet a bit better, because despite him posing better and balancing much better than regular Final Form Frieza, because the lack of a tail, as well as there's more, I think there's more foot space for him to be able to balance himself. I do still think that I find him sometimes just kind of falling over and stuff like that randomly. He's kind of weird to balance sometimes still, despite the improvements they've clearly made to, you know, accentuate the Final Form Full Power part of Frieza. I just wish he was able to balance more, and I wish there was a little more paint detail. But overall, when it comes to this release, I would wholeheartedly recommend you guys pick this guy up if you still can. I think he's a really, really great figure, and an iconic scene, an iconic set of episodes, excuse me, from the show. And obviously, again, arguably Goku's most iconic enemy, arch-enemy, rival, whatever you want to call him. And so, out of a 10, I'm probably going to give this a 9. I don't really see that too much wrong with it. Sure, some of the posing can get a bit funky, because some of the, like when it comes to, can look funky because some of the, you know, the base of the neck, some of the joints will look weird if you push them all the way forward. You know, you push them, if you push them to their limits. But again, overall, still really good release, and I would recommend buying it. Now, I did pick mine up on the Big Bad Toy Store, so I'll leave a link in the description to that. Also, see if I can find a link on Amazon so you guys can also pick this guy up. And he might hit retailers. I don't know if he's an over-the-counter release, so if you're in the US like I am, stores like, trying to think, like FYE or Box Lunch, what else would sell this? Trying to think of other stores similar to that. I just had one off the top of my head that wasn't Box Lunch. Or Hot Topic might sell this guy. Like, you know, stores like that might sell a figure like this, and so keep your eyes out if this guy's an over-the-counter release, and I definitely wish you the best of luck for finding this guy if you do decide to go that route. Also, Target, that's another place that this guy can be hopefully found at if he's an over-the-counter release. So, overall, though, yeah, really cool stuff, and I think that's it for the video review. And so I thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch this video. Please like, comment, rate, and subscribe, and share this video with your friends. I would greatly appreciate it. And also follow me in the socials. Those will be linked in the description below. And with that, guys, once again, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video review, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Peace.